In this video, we are going to look at suitability of different sampling methods by looking at the advantages and disadvantages of different types of sampling. Now, the first one is simple random sampling. For example, in this figure, we first assign the random numbers to each of the person, and then we take out a person marked with the highest random number among the group or row, and then we consider only that sample for the processing of data analysis for interpretations. Now, there are advantages and disadvantages of every sampling method. Advantages of simple random sampling: better chances that sample represents the whole population. Simple random sampling uses random numbers, which ensures that the samples vary as much as the population itself. Can be concluded in shorter time duration. The process is simple and short. It takes lesser time to complete. The saved time can be used for analysis and interpretation. Costs less money. Once the task of assignment of random numbers is done, the half process is completed. The process saves time and cost to a great extent, and its simplicity ensures that we do not have to spend too many resources on the sampling process itself, and we can take any number of samples from this process. Involves lesser degree of judgment. While assigning the random number to an item of the population, the person assigns a number in a random sequence. That means the process is unbiased, as it does not involve the judgment of the person performing the sampling. Disadvantages: risk of selecting samples from few variations only. For large population, it is possible that we miss out on a particular group. Example: conducting a poll on a sample of the Australian drivers regarding how they feel about speed cameras. Then next is stratified random sampling. The population is categorized. So in the process, categorize the population, decide for the size of the sample, calculate the number of samples to be taken from each of these strata. Advantages and disadvantages of stratified random sampling. Stratified random sampling provides better accuracy as it takes the samples proportional to the categorized population. Stratified random sampling ensures that no section of the population is under or overrepresented. Disadvantages: it is sometimes hard to classify each kind of population into clearly different classes. Number 2, stratified random sampling can be tedious and time-consuming job. Example: if there are 10 boys and 20 girls in a grade, a stratified sample of 9 students would need to contain 3 boys and 6 girls. Next is systematic sample. In the figure, the first sample is chosen at random, and then the remaining are chosen by leaving 2 items in between after the previous sample. The gap rule is considered based on the population size and the required sample size. Now, advantages and disadvantages. Easier than stratified random sampling and more effective than simple random sampling. Next is cost effective. Stratification would cost lots of resources, thus systematic random sampling is more effective than others. Avoids judgment. It involves probability to a greater extent, so judgments are avoided, and once the first sample is chosen, the role of the judgment finishes. Less time consuming. It does not cost the time of stratification, nor it leaves any doubt on reliability. Higher degree of control. We can control the sample size, the first sample, and the rule to complete the process. Thus, the level of control is always higher in this sampling method. Disadvantages. Size of the population may not be known before the sampling starts. Suppose that we want to survey on a brand of cigarettes that the smoker wants. We may not know how many of the population smoke or all the brands of the cigarettes available in the market. Assumption that the population is uniform may not always be proved to be true. We cannot say the population is enough uniform. Sometimes it can also be true that the exceptional items appear on the portion of the population that are taken as samples, and this makes the system dysfunctional. Then testing the quality of 100 packets of chips by checking every 10th packet, because there is only one category and you are picking with the system every 10th packet. So that's systematic random sampling. Next is self-selecting sampling. Non-probability sampling, where individuals volunteer themselves to be a part of a sample. Advantages and disadvantages. Self-selection reduces the time necessary to find the appropriate sample. Volunteers are most likely to be committed to take part in the study and have a greater willingness to provide meaningful insights. Disadvantages. Self-selection is not a representative of the population being sampled, so it is a biased sample. Example, a medical researcher wants to study success rate of COVID-19 vaccination. Now, we also need to look at exam style questions. Example 1, a retirement village has 63 residents, 42 women and 21 men. Decide whether each sample of resident would be random, stratified, systematic or self-selected. Every 7th resident. So it's in a rule with one category, so it's systematic sample. 6 of the women and 3 of the men. Now, the ratio of 42 women to 21 men is 2:1, and the ratio of 6 women to 3 men is also 2:1. So it's a stratified sample. 9 names picked from a hat containing the names of the residents, so all together in a hat and then picking at random, so it's a random sample. Residents sorted into alphabetical order and each 9th resident selected, so it's in a rule, so it's systematic sample. Residents are divided into 4 age groups and then 2 residents are selected from each age group, so categorized and then selecting at random, so it's stratified random sample. Now, example 2, this is 2013 HSC multiple choice question. A high school has 100 students in each year group, year 7 to year 12. A survey is to be conducted to determine the average number of text messages sent per month by students at the school. Which of the following would provide the most representative sample for this survey? All year 7 students, all physics students in year 11 and 12, 20 students chosen at random from each year group, 120 students chosen at random from the school roll. Now, because each year group has 100 students, so they are equal in number and also they are categorized. So the option C would be the best sampling method, 20 students chosen at random from each year group. Example 3, 2012 HSC multiple choice question. Handmade chocolates are checked for size and shape. Every 30th chocolate is sampled. Which term best describes this type of sampling? Census, random, stratified, systematic. As there is only one category and we are choosing in a system like 30th chocolate, so that would be systematic sampling.